Hey, I'm Liz Gluckstern-Friedman, and welcome to Liz Coaches. I'm here to make sure that mind wandering doesn't hold you back from living your life. Each week, I'll remind you of your inner resources by teaching you simple mindfulness tools to keep you in control of your well-being. Last week, we learned that concentration meditation means non-distraction. And if you missed it, check out my 5-minute YouTube video. This week, I'm teaching you what mindfulness actually is. So let's get started on what it's not. You might already know what it's not like to be mindful, right? My previous roommate used to joke, "I'll be mindless and you can be mindful, Liz." When you're not mindful, you may be distracted, on autopilot, not present in your own life, and you might miss the beauty of the blossoming buds. Mindfulness is a practice of paying attention to what's arising on its own. So what's preventing you from paying attention? Is it your racing mind that launches you into stories, negative thinking patterns, memories, or catastrophes? P.S. I'll teach you about negative thinking patterns in an upcoming video. In mindfulness, you acknowledge that you get lost in thought, which is completely normal. And getting lost in thought makes you unaware of your chosen experience or object. So for example, mind wandering might lead to forgetting to send that email, or you might miss that nonverbal cue from your boss. So in meditation, we're practicing the skills of mindfulness by choosing to be aware of an experience such as breathing or sitting. And when you're lost in thought, you'll kindly come back to the chosen experience. That's it. The practice quickly opens you up to being more mindful of the breath, body, sensations, and emotions, to being more mindful without judgment of thoughts themselves. It's normal to think that thoughts are destructive, manipulative, and personal. However, the truth is that thoughts are just experiences. They're arising in consciousness, and they are not your enemy. When you notice thoughts are simply arising, they're changing, they're disappearing, then you see they hold no more importance than, let's say, the changing breath or body. This all sums up to mindfulness practice is about being more equanimous with all changing sensations. So why do we do this? Well, we do it to be less reactive and attached and to live more fully in our lives. So let's practice a 30-minute session where you choose a focus and then you're kind to yourself when thoughts distract you by using a mental note such as, "It's okay." All right, let's sit comfortably. I invite you to close your eyes because it helps us to tune in. And just beginning by choosing to focus on your naturally arising breath or perhaps the experience of sitting. Just relax your face and your body. And when thoughts arise, simply meet them with a kind phrase such as, "That's okay." And then you'll gently guide yourself back to the breath or the body. So pausing to check in. Trying it one more time, just focusing on the breath or the body and using that kind phrase when the mind wanders. And go ahead and take a big breath in and an audible sigh out. Feeling your body on the chair, you might gently open your eyes. And of course, pausing to notice how you feel. Great work. I'm wondering how that experience was for you. Did you notice any tiny shifts? Maybe you feel more calm and centered. Do tell us in the comments section. And if that was helpful, here are a few more tips on how to be mindful in your everyday life. So start with clarity. Right? Number one is get clear on what prevents you from being mindful. Is it overthinking? Is it work responsibilities or caretaking? Is it reactivity for differing opinions? Maybe it's overwhelm or worry. Step 2, record. Journal on what you might want to be more mindful of or when you want to be more mindful. For example, do you want to be more mindful of how you present yourself in meetings? Or perhaps do you want to be more mindful of your tone of voice? Do you want to be more mindful when you're with your partner or when you're walking? Notice what the lack of mindfulness is doing in your life. Do you have more feelings of agitation? Are you rushing? Or is mindlessness ruining an important relationship? Choose just one thing. Choose one thing to be more mindful of. Let's say this March you want to eat more mindfully. Perhaps your solution is to slow down when choosing your lunch. To capture data, use your phone or a notebook and track how your experience changes when you are mindful during those meals. Quickly applying strategies to track progress makes it easier to continue to change. And step 4, certainly not the last. Give yourself grace. Whenever you notice you're lost in thought, or you're on autopilot, or you did that annoying thing you're trying not to do, please be kind. Referring to yourself without judgment is an absolute must. Simply start again without a cruel inner narration by trying a mental note such as, "It's okay," and celebrate every victory. Get even more mindfulness practice by listening to my 5-minute audio meditation on mindfulness in my podcast, which I linked below. And do you want more mindfulness tips about how to pay attention to what matters to you? Join us on Saturday, the 18th of March at 10 a.m. in my monthly complimentary online mindfulness class. You can learn more and RSVP at lizcoaches.com/events. And if you can't join us in the live meditations, you've got over 120 meditations on Apple and Spotify on Liz Teaches Meditation podcast. Or do you want individualized support to help you zone out less and get done more mindfully? With me in one-on-one coaching, you'll learn science-backed self-regulation tools that'll help you increase productivity and decrease mental rumination and anxiety. So thank you as always for your practice and attention. If this video helped you, I invite you to share the link with your community. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.